Well, good morning and welcome back to the herd. It is July. The cows are fed. We're just gonna head on over and top off the TMR for the pigs, and holy cows. Would you guys look at that bean field? I think there's beans in there. I am not quite sure, but we're gonna top these pigs off here. Holy cows, that just kind of changed the whole dynamics of today's episode. Yeah, we were going to spread some manure, but that is going to change because this field looks like it needs to be sprayed. So we're going to go check this out. Once we get this other one topped off here, we'll let this run, but we're going to go take a look and see. Is there any soybeans in there? We'll take a look. We'll take a look. We'll let that run and fill up, but boy, does this look... This is embarrassing. Well, looks like we're going to have to do a couple things here. It is July. I would really like to get some of the beans sold that are in the bins as well, but it looks like we need to spray some weeds. Oh, goodness. Let's check the corn. Corn has some weeds through there, too, so we're going to have to spray the corn. Oh, my goodness. All right, well... All right, looks like that's topped off. We better shut these here, otherwise moisture will get into them. And it's starting to rain. That's not very good. We'll actually starting to thunder. So maybe what we can do, maybe we can get a couple loads of manure hauled. Let's get this thing put back to where it was and unhook it. We did get ourselves a bucket for this tractor because we were lacking of a bucket. So that is up on the trailer up here in the by the sheds. And we also did get ourselves some straw bales because we do not have any. There are cornstalk bales. We don't have any. So I actually had to go purchase some, top out and grab these on strap since I got the forks still on. I gotta go to the other side and unhook that. Hopefully this rain kind of stops. We don't need it to be raining. Let's unhook this as well because we might need, whoops, we don't need the flashlight. It's bright enough out. What's going on with my forks? Oh, they're completely down. All right, well, that was kind of silly of me. Do not roll off, please. Oh, it rolled off. All right, well, either way, we'll pick it up. Maybe it might be easier so we don't bash into the trailer like we just did. I get the gate opened up. Cows are doing great. No new calves yet, but they all are pregnant. Let's see, we do still have plenty of straw in here, but I wouldn't mind putting this in there and just letting it kind of, eat its way out of this, so to speak, the way the game works. Let's get this thing shoved in here. There you go. Take it. I don't think I have to go in any further with that, but this pile. It is still kind of raining out. We were going to get this onto the alfalfa field over there. We still have everything hooked up. We still have time to do that. I think we could do that maybe while it's raining. It's not raining super hard, so... Maybe let's get this one over and then I'll come back and we'll get the bucket on here. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I kind of parked a little too close there, didn't I? I wasn't expecting the bale to roll off the trailer like it did. Can't quite see. Let's get ourselves picked up. There we go. Oh my goodness. We just about tipped her to the side. All this front in-cab view gaming. We're going to try some other things here. Maybe let's kind of do some more of the in-cab gaming like this, first-person view, if we can. If not, we'll kind of jump back and forth. I think we'll kind of maybe do a hybrid of it. So let's bring this to the back side of the shed. Let's just maybe stick this up here. Let's put it on the... Can I get it? I might be able to get it there. Let it roll in there. Perfect. All right. I would like to try to get some spraying done. Also, we need to get some soybeans hauled to the co-op because July is the best time to sell that. So we might need to do that too as well. Let's get the front one unhooked. There we go. Gotta grab the bucket. There we be. Let's at least load this up. Maybe we can get the weather to stop because we still have to run to town and get ourselves some herbicide in our refillable totes. So it doesn't look like it's too terribly bad out. We should be able to spread this manure. All right, get this backed up here like so. Something like that. We can leave the tractor running. Man, I like that 4440. All right, we're good there. The cows are kind of in my way, but we'll hopefully maybe get them to move. Maybe. We'll find out here very shortly. All right, first scoop of manure. Nice and slimy. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be a fun time. All right, hopefully we don't get too motion sickness doing it this way, so I might kind of just pop us out of here like that. All right, well, this is gonna take some scoop. All right, well, we're getting our last scoop here. It did decide to kind of quit raining out, so that's good. That means we don't have to worry too much about how muddy everything is. So let's get this last little scoop up into the manure spreader. I think that's good enough. It might not be 100% full, but it's good enough for right now. Now we're gonna go put this on the alfalfa field back behind the bins. Now this most definitely is nothing that's gonna obviously be able to do this 10 acres, but I just wanted to get some of this manure hauled out of the pen. All right, let's get that back gate open. That's ready to go, and just start spreading that manure, all the good stuff. We're just gonna, no rhyme or reason, we're just gonna cruise along here and get some of this manure just thrown on this field. Be a good old time. Now we're obviously gonna have to do something with this. This won't be able to stay alfalfa for, you know, too many seasons. We're gonna have to rotate crops through all these fields, so we're gonna have to do that. But this was a good opportunity to get all this manure out of that barn, out of that pen, because with getting busy here with gonna be starting some silage, some chopping some corn and things like that. Kind of get ahead of it a little bit, so that way we don't get that so full. Looks like this tractor might need a little repair job on it. We're kind of struggling to make this corner, and we should have no problem pulling this thing. So looks like we might have a repair due. Unfortunate thing is we only got about $10,000 in our accounts, and we still have an $85,000 loan to pay back, and it just kind of goes on and on from there. We do have about 21,000 liters of soybeans in that first bin that need to go to the co-op. We'll be able to pay back some of that loan, but not all of it, just because we're going to need a comfortable spot in our account to be able to, you know, basically survive. I'm hoping that we get enough crops off of that far field, which is like 11 acres or so, that we can kind of help push us through this winter. Be able to sell some of that crop when we get that picked over there on that field, because the soybeans look like they kind of tend to go pretty good in the July time frame. So hopefully we'll be able to get all of that situated when we start harvesting some of that corn. We don't need a whole lot for silage, just because we don't have that much for animals right now. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to how we're spreading this. We're just driving around the field trying to get ourselves rid of all this manure that we had in that pen. All right, we have about 15% left, about 2,000 liters of manure left in the spreader. Then we'll be able to take this up. I don't think I'm going to do any more loads of this, because we still have a busy day. We need to get, like I said, we need to get this tractor off to the mechanic up there. I wonder if we can do it here I don't know what we got to do. So it might be just a matter of a fuel filter change. Sometimes that will cause some issues where it just kind of feels like it's bogged down. Let's go park this spreader, and let's just go pull this in, and maybe it's just something simple as far as maybe we just need to change out a fuel filter. Well, it does look like it's going to be more than just a little fuel filter. It's going to be about just about $2,800, but I think we're going to need to do that. So we're going to get that all fixed up. That thing should be ready to rock and roll, because we cannot be taking that thing down the road pulling 2 gravity wagons full of soybeans. July is the best time frame to sell. We are sitting at like $1,500 to sell. We could have, $1,600. Let's see. They're all about the same, so it doesn't really matter. We could bring it just to the co-op, which we're going to bring it to the dryer. So, yeah, the market for the soybeans is now is the time to sell. Okay, we got the blue auger underneath the unload auger in the bin. Everything should be good to go. All we have to do is just pull up right up underneath that thing. At least let's get some money in the bank, because, like I said, dang, we are short on some cash. So let's get these loaded up. Get them sweet soybeans in here. There we be. First load of the summer going to the co-op to get sold. It's a good day. Good day. While that's loading, let's come up here. I think I have the tractor ready. The 8410, I do believe, is ready to go with the sprayer. Yes, it was all hooked up. But these 2 totes right here, we do need to get pulled out of here and put on the trailer. I think what we're going to have to do here is, yeah, let's just pull this out of the way because we need to come up through this way with the tractor, the 4440. That's all ready to go. We need to go check to make sure. We might have to go move this forward. We're going to go down here. It looks like that one is done loading up. All right, that's ready to rock and roll. Let's go grab the 1486. We got to switch over to the fork so we can get in there and grab the pallets. I think for now we can just leave this bucket right here. Because that's about the only thing we're going to need it for until winter comes, when we're going to have to maybe move a little bit of snow around if we have to. The forks are right here. Got them loaded up. Make sure that we got ours wide enough here. I think they're about right. We'll just take this one here. Sorry about the beam in the way there, guys. I think we're going to have to fill both of these up. I'm pretty sure, because I do not think just one tote is going to be able to do what we need to do. All right, let's grab that last pallet. This tractor isn't the easiest to see out of. There, we got that one. That one wasn't too terribly bad. Spin around. Yeah, we won't be able to shut the tailgate. They're going to have to be on the tailgate, like so. Now, can I get out of here without destroying anything? Not too bad. All right, we're going to have to get these strapped on so they can go to town. And we should be able to just leave this thing parked right where we want it. All right, let's take this first double load into town so that way we can get that sold. Now, we better check to see where we need to go. I do believe the best place to go is the grain dryer. And for $1 more, which I think it costs you money right now. Yeah, it's going to cost me money to rent the train. So we're just going to give it to we're going to sell it to the dryer for $1 less, because I don't think it will be worth the amount that you get for renting the train. Well, we'll make this trip to the co-op. Now, I don't think we're gonna sell all of the soybeans. Whoops, excuse me, their car, because we need some for food for the pigs, but we don't need it like that much. I think we'll have plenty enough by the time it's July right now. I'm thinking by the time we harvest some of the soybeans, we will be sitting fairly decent, because the pigs don't go through that terribly much. And we still have some stored in the little bins that are over by the hog building. Now, if you guys do enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, so that way I know if you guys are enjoying this type of content. Well, we're pulling up to the co-op here. We need to go scale and weigh ourselves, so that way they know how many bushels we're bringing in. So we'll come on over to this side to the scale house and get ourselves weighed. We should have taken the duals off, but I think we should be able to fit. It will be very, very tight. Yes, very tight. Oh. All right, let's make sure that we're all on. Looks like we are. And we just got the green light to go. That is a tight fit there, guys. We should have taken the duals off, but they're on right now, and it's no sense of turning back home to take them off. If you guys haven't dumped up here before, it does help if you do purchase this part of the land. It is free. I think it's land 50 or something like that. But if you're going to sell to the drying bin, it's this far side. So don't get too confused with that. You got to go to the far side where we're going to be dumping it here. You got to go all the way to pit. Whoa. All the way to pit 2 is where you need to go. Now we're unloading. Be good to go there. Nice. Now, I do not think that we need to call the train. I think when we go into our settings up here, we want the co-op and we want the grain drying bin. We want this. We want to change this to active and change output mode to selling. So I think that's what we want to do. We got soybeans coming in there. All right, well, those are unloaded. I do think... Yeah, we don't have any anything yet, so I think we do have to do a couple more steps here. But let's get back to the house and get another load going. Okay, well, while that is loading up again, I wouldn't mind coming over to coming over to the 8410 and getting this kind of pulled out. We do have to just make sure that all the nozzles work. Should have moved the 1486 out of the way, but you know what? I think we can get this. Maybe not. Maybe we cannot get that. I was thinking we could maybe fold the booms out there, but we will not be able to. Looks like this tractor might need a little bit of work on it too. There we go. Looks like we're still loading over there. Let's maybe drop these down so we can work on it a little bit. Let's just gotta double check everything's working. Nothing's broken on here before we get going. So take a quick gander. Said we did go through this. All the hoses looked good. All the nozzle tips looked fine. They look like they're ready to rock and roll. Let's get this thing shut off. Looks like the first wagon is loaded up. And get pulled forward and some soybeans. All right, well, we'll let that finish up and we'll make our next trip into town. I think we can sell everything we just brought in and we'll leave the corn or the soybeans that are in there right now. We're just going to leave them. I think these are going to be the last loads we have because I wouldn't mind getting, we got to get into town, back to the co-op, fill up those totes with some herbicide, get back, and we need to start getting spraying because it is getting a little bit later in the afternoon. It actually is noon, but the sun's came out enough that the ground is kind of dried. Everything's kind of dried off a little bit. So that way we can start spraying our weeds. Okay, well, as we were driving into the co-op up here, I did notice I looked up, and because I changed the output for the co-op down here to selling for the beans, it was automatically sold. It just took a little while for that money to show up in the account. So we'll leave that as is. And right now, God, we're sitting at $40,000, which is good. We'll have to make a little bit of payback on the loan. So that hopefully that kind of boosts us up to about 80,000-ish in there. Look at that. That's slick. I like this map. I really like this map. I enjoy it very, very thoroughly, and I'm really starting to enjoy it even that much more now that I got Thundar's row crop stuff going on. So I'm very excited for some of that stuff. It just adds another spectrum of realism to this map, and the amount of role playing you can do with this thing, with everything being able to function. All right, good to go. Head back to the house. We need to grab the truck. So let's go back to the truck, grab it, and get these totes filled up so that way we can start spraying and getting those dang weeds out of those fields. All right, let's go put these wagons back where we got them. So we'll come spinning around here on the back side and drop them off, because if anybody's ever tried to back up these wagons like this, they're tough. It's tough. There's like no backing up to these things. Okay, got that unloaded. We should be done with this tractor. I don't think we'll need it for anything at this particular moment. All right, I'll turn it off and let's go grab the truck. And we need to start making our way to the co-op to get our fertilizer, our herbicide, because we got to kill some weeds. We don't want the weeds to grow, so yeah, no fertilizer, just some herbicide. Now this field off to our left is ours, but definitely the corn is just too terribly tall for us to spray anything at this point, and the weeds weren't terribly bad, so I think we'll just kind of leave them as is. And you know, we could have the co-op do some spraying for us, but we don't have the funds right now to have them come and spray. So hopefully, you know, it would have been nice if we could have got to that sooner, but apparently, you know, we kind of ran out of time. It just didn't get them sprayed. But the weeds aren't too terribly bad in that field. The soybeans now, on the other hand, are terribly bad. And we're going to get those things knocked off. Otherwise, we're going to lose a lot of our money coming this fall. Let's pull underneath the bulk fill station here. And should be good to go. Let's go drop down our gate up top. Get everything ready to go. And we should be able to fill that up. All right, so we're going to fill this up with herbicide and watch the money drain out of our account. One tote is full, just about $3,000 per tote. Whew. All right, well, we need it anyways. I'll spend the money doing it this way than lose a bunch of money in the fall time with bushels that we wouldn't be getting. So let's go back to the farm and get ourselves ready to start spraying. Now we should be able to just pull on down towards the pig barn and walk back up and grab the 8410, fill ourselves up, and start spraying away. Well, let's just fill up here. That way when we're ready, when that's empty, we can get this moved down there. So let's get this thing filled up first. We'll just back ourselves here. Get ourselves in the 8410. We got to fold this thing back up and raise it up. Goes back. Start filling. That's full. All right. I think while we're here, let's spend the money and get this tractor repaired. $1,600. Not too terribly bad. All right. That's good to go. We'll let that thing warm up. We'll bring this. Did we empty that tote? I don't think we did. What we got? About half. Okay. Half full. So that should last us. That should fill. That should get all of our field sprayed. Whoops, ran over the stinking pressure washer. And I was going to bring the truck down there, but we do need to shut the truck off. How about we do that rather than let it run? We're going to go straight. Actually, we could probably just go straight this way. We should be able to get ourselves folded out here, like so. And I think, we can probably just spray some of the... let's scoot over. Let's try not to hit anything, though. All right, so if you guys are remembering this last good bit here of the beans that we're kind of splitting right here was planted a little bit earlier. I need to get my GPS set up. Put these on 90-degree rows because that's what we planted at. And we should be good to go. All right, let's continue spraying here. Oh, look at the weeds just disappear. They're done for. They're done for. We'll just use this planting line right here and just kind of continue to go straight. I think we should be good enough there to use that. The weeds, they look bad, but I don't know. They just really kind of popped up as soon as the later planted soybeans came out. They just really popped. It is kind of warm out. It's been warm out in June. It's kind of warm out in July. Weeds really like that. I'm not sure what we have for soybeans on this field because we kind of split planted this field. I think there's more soybeans, obviously. I'm pretty sure there's more soybeans on this field than there is corn, but the idea is that we're going to use part of that corn for chopping, so that way we got some more in the silage bunker. And we'll get to that point where, like I said, we're not using a whole lot because we just don't have that many animals to feed at this point, but eventually I wouldn't mind having more animals, and hopefully we can start gaining those animals as the animals reproduce, and we can start, making some money that way as well. Same thing with the pigs. I got to figure out what we want to do with the pigs. It can only hold roughly, I think it's 50 pigs per side, which is 100 pigs, which isn't a whole lot. But at the rate which these pigs reproduce, it is crazy. It's crazy how fast these pigs produce, especially when they reproduce at was it be like 12 babies? We got to figure out something to do with the pigs. Like, do we add more pig barns? Do we add what do we do with the pigs? Because I wouldn't mind keeping some of those pigs and using them to help reproduce, but I don't know what to do. I would really like to try to potentially take the barn that's there and duplicate it, and we can build another one somewhere on the farm. Then we'd have about 200 pigs. That is something that we just got to kind of think about here. All right, well, this would be a good time to sit back, relax, turn the radio up, and let's get to spraying. Alrighty, well, we got this field all sprayed, which feels good. And we still have about 25% or so left in the tank. And we have a full tank, full IBC tote left over, so that way we can get the corn sprayed. But that's going to have to do it for today. We do have to do one last thing, and that is we need to go and pay part of this loan off. So let's come up to here, and let's click on this, and we need to pay off. We're going to pay off about $37,000. So let's make a $37,558 payment back to our loan. That feels good. So now we got about $44,000 left to pay on that loan, which feels good. But if you guys did enjoy this content, don't forget to leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.